Deep within the bowels of a secret underground bunker, a group of handsome men of sufficient intelligence are planning to take over the internet. Their plan is codenamed Epic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Codenamed Podcast, Codenamed Epic's weekly podcast. I'm the R-Man, and with us in the bunker today we have...
Dismal Elephant.
Kyrez.
Kirby Kid.
And Jen.
And as I already said, I am the R-Man, and today's topics are... Battlefield 3 just came out! And it's awesome! And you should play it, I think, if you're into that sort of thing. And then, of course, we have the new Diablo deal, where you agree to purchase a year subscription, and you get Diablo for free.
And some other goodies.
A year subscription to World of Warcraft, and you get a bunch of deals. But we'll go more into that as we go on.
Perhaps a very good deal. And, of course, at BlizzCon, they just announced...
a new race.
A new expansion pack. Mists of Pandaria. It's finally happening, people. We're going to get to play as Pandarians.
Great.
Alright, so starting off, Battlefield 3 just came out today, and I personally am quite impressed. What do you guys think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was entertaining. It felt different from Call of Duty, which I think was one thing that they wanted to make sure to do the most. Now, how different it's going to be from the new Call of Duty, only time could tell. But it was fun. It was entertaining.
It's too real. I mean, we were just playing it for the podcast, and like some of the dirt was so real. We thought the screen was dirty. You know,
yeah,
we had to go clean it off. You know, but it's really real.
Spectacular looking game. I mean, I think they really outdid themselves on the aesthetic design. It looks hyper realistic, but it also sounds hyper realistic.
Yeah. You're never safe. You're never safe.
You
can hide behind a concrete wall, then there's no concrete wall anymore.
It's like it's gone.
Yeah.
The sound is a little bit like the fact that it goes deathly silent all of a sudden is a little creepy sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But there's also the attention to details. Like I noticed, for example, like when you're inside the Humvee, the voices sound like you're in a tin can. And, DICE has been really good. Like, the only good thing I could have said about Medal of Honor was that the audio was awesome. And that was about it. And DICE is just really good at putting really good audio. But the game looks beautiful. I was, like, blown away. I saw the demo, of course. And that, my brain was leaking out of my ears. But I just saw the game in person, and I'm like, yes, guys, it looks that good.
Yeah, it definitely visually it's very appealing, and if you are a person that very much wants to visual appeal most of all, then this is a game that is a must buy for you. And
there's no Master Chiefing in this game either.
You can't
like. You guys saw. I stood up by accident and then died immediately.
Yeah.
It's like there's no like looking around. It's like no, you're dead. Sorry. Yeah, and there's no healing from a headshot.
I don't see anyone, especially within the next year at least, being able to beat it on the hardest difficulty without dying. Like there might be some achievement for that, but I don't see anyone doing it for
unless they're like
a long
real military.
Time. Well,
they have a little experience
in the military.
It would take a few times completely playing through on the most difficult setting, and be able to memorize where everything is and how everything will come at you and all those things, and hoping that it won't throw you a curveball in each time you try it.
Which it looks like it will. I mean, the animations were very fluid. It looked like the enemy was actually thinking at some points, and
which is a little scary.
Which is kind of freaky. I thought I was pretty impressed with it just. I have to think, if you're the kind of person who wants to stick it to Call of Duty, okay? If you want to just say, you know what, I'm done with you, you've hurt me too many times.
I found someone new.
And there's I officially found somebody new, and it is not me, it's you. And I'm going, and I'm gonna stick with Battlefield. And actually, I would rather have this than Modern Warfare 3 at this point. Anything else you want to say?
It definitely just from like the gameplay we've just played, like the first couple levels or so. It looks amazing. I will agree. It looks amazing. I think they probably gave it like a darker tone now. It looks super realistic, and I'm just like, wow, my mind is so blown right now. What else? There was
The talking.
the talking.
The banter.
The banter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
definitely.
actually pretty funny. I was kind of laughing every so often. I was like, that's a joke right there. And
They
Yeah.
don't have schools where you're from.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
I think,
Combat dialogue is, I mean, it's kind of thought of as an afterthought, but it is very important in games like this in establishing the characters and their identities. And you instantly, knew who you were with and what they were like, and that's mission accomplished. It was funny, and it was funny while being terrifying. I like the grim sense of humor
Right.
they all have.
And it looks really good. I mean, usually people, want to say that a game will look better on PS3 or Xbox, but I think this is one of those games that it just looks beautiful.
Let's just put it this way:
Yeah.
I cannot believe they crammed this game onto a console.
Well, it is 2 discs.
It is 2 discs,
So,
well,
but-
for Xbox.
and it's
for
not
Xbox.
running at 64 frames per second. It's not running at as high a frame rate. If you get this on the PC and you have a high-end PC, you're going to get a better visual experience.
Yeah.
But whoa, this looked good.
yeah, I think this is one of those games that usually I like to play first-person shooters on computers because I like the feel of a mouse and a keyboard. But in this game, I could see myself actually enjoying possibly a console more because of just the feel and the eeriness and everything like that you get from it. That I don't want any background noise because I think if there was background noise, like if I was playing music in the background, when I'm on my PC, it would just take away from it drastically.
Yeah, because you're not scared.
They did establish that
Yeah.
there was good pacing, and this is something that a lot of games fail at doing, is that they'll throw a bunch of action at you, but they don't have any build up to it,
Yeah.
and so the pacing is off.
Well, in the beginning of this game, they do throw a bunch of action at you, so that you kind of get automatically involved with it. You have to. It just throws you inside of a subway car, and you have to start fighting your way up to the front of the subway train, whatever, and to the front car, and you learn somewhat the mechanics of it at the same time because it's giving you directions, but it gets you so grabbed onto it by the gameplay and everything automatically, and it's kind of a way I feel that it's them saying, see how much better we are than Call of Duty? Look at this gameplay. Don't you just love it?
I do.
And yeah,
Plus, it's already in your hands right now.
yeah, and I started to, it put you automatically in the gameplay and got you kind of hooked onto it rather than saying, let me go ahead and show you a 5-minute video of why you're going to like this. And then let you play. I'm going to let you play, and then I'll show you a few minutes video.
They hooked you.
Yeah,
And
basically
then
of what happened before, how you got into the situation.
and then they slowed it down a little bit. And then
Yeah, and
rushed
then
it.
you got you really into the
Yeah,
story.
good pacing on that, and beautiful visuals, and the story actually. See, here's the problem with a lot of modern combat games: is the story doesn't really intrigue me. What's keeping me playing is that there's the heart pounding action, and that's all. That's fine and dandy, but nobody can say that Modern Warfare had a story that I had to know what was going to happen next. And this game actually, for the very few minutes that I played it, I wanted to see what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
And so that's a plus. Now I don't know how the rest of the game is going to pan out, but so far so good. If they can see, there's no reason why a modern combat game can't have a compelling narrative. So if they can accomplish that with this, I'm going to be pretty excited.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Call of Duty is shitting bricks right now.
Yeah,
Yes, it-
I think Infinity Ward. Well, no, I don't think Infinity Ward's afraid at all. I think Infinity Ward is more than capable of challenging Battlefield. But I think I'm just gonna call it. I think Battlefield 3 so far, and I haven't played. I seriously, I haven't played Modern Warfare 3, but from what I've seen of Modern Warfare 3,
Well, no one's really played it.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
you just only see gameplay videos or
But in case you're listening to this in the future, and you have your hands on this, I have not played it, but from what I've seen and what I've played from Battlefield 3 seems to be. I'm gonna call it. You know.
So basically, if you're playing Modern Warfare right now, just know the game you just spent $60 on lost.
So says the R man. So shall it be.
So
there was that one thing though. Remember how you? went
Yes.
through
There was
Okay.
one moment where I was like, "Oh, that's not good." But you're not allowed to towards the beginning. You're not allowed to leave the boundaries of where they want you to stay, which is a big no-no in my opinion when it comes to game design. You should never tell the player, "No, don't do that." They shouldn't feel like they're being restricted. Obviously, you have to restrict them, but you should never tell them that they're being restricted. And I remember rounding a corner that I wasn't supposed to, chasing one of the bad guys down, and I saw him vanish.
which I don't realize. I didn't get. Why didn't you just shoot him from afar? Why did you feel you have to try to
I couldn't
creep
get a
up
good
on
shot.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, that's not the truth. I kind of wanted to stab him, but
I had a feeling, but
I kind of because I remembered in Medal of Honor, when you stabbed somebody in Medal of Honor, you could actually repeatedly stab them and then bring them to the ground and keep going at it. I want to see if you could still do that.
That sounds sick.
It was the one, like I said, Medal of Honor. I guess there's three good things about Medal of Honor: good sound, you could stab people all the way to the ground, and shotguns actually were effective at a range, which is a mistake that a lot of shooters do. For some reason, they decided that in a shooter, a shotgun will only kill somebody if you're shoving it in their face, which is, taken from someone who's fired shotguns before. They'll do plenty damage to you from quite far away. But otherwise, I wanted to stab the guy and see how that looked. And
then he pulled a Nightcrawler on you.
Maybe it wasn't a game, a sloppy game design. Maybe it was intended. Maybe the Taliban has mutants on their side.
They have earthquake technology, apparently.
Yeah, we're going to go with the fact that they have an earthquake machine.
we don't know if that's a machine or if maybe it's explosions.
Well, it's not. They actually say that the city is on a fault line. So that
A
was
really convenient fault line.
Yeah, I got
We'll have to wait and see. Maybe they're digging for something underneath the ground or setting off explosions.
Yeah.
That's
maybe.
true.
So, I mean, we don't know. We're not that far into the story yet because I have a feeling that's going to come into play. I don't think it's going to be.
Well, yeah, I don't think they just decided earthquake because they wanted to topple a building on top of you. But then again, maybe they did decide, you know what would be really cool, guys? You know what would be really cool? Let's knock down a building. That's how we end the level, okay?
Well, not only that, but I mean, it seems like it has more earthquakes than Southern California, who's supposed to be famous for having earthquakes.
Yeah, seriously.
And I like how they
Iraq
fell to
known
the-
for its earthquakes? I don't know.
No, I don't know, but I
Well,
know it fell the wrong way.
Northeast is. Just like that general area.
Well, there is a tectonic plate there, so
yeah.
So it's interesting.
yeah.
We'll have to wait and see how it will compare with.
Yeah, this is
Call of
obviously
Duty.
just the first
But
impression.
this is definitely fun so far. It's not on the top of my list to play immediately, but down the line, probably around Christmas time, I'll be getting it. Especially because people are probably going to be kind of tired of playing and returning to GameStop, and I get it for $5 or $10 cheaper.
That'll be tomorrow.
I don't think you're going to be seeing this one return immediately because it has such great effects. It has a good, from what we've heard and seen in videos, it has a great multiplayer online feature, which we haven't been able to test out yet. I think this is going to be one of those games that you won't see many, if any, returns for the first week.
Yeah, I think this is so far, and obviously first impressions. I really liked what I saw. I was impressed, minus that one part where you kind of got to peek behind the curtain. I saw them remove the enemy from the map, and it's like seeing the magic trick.
Right.
The magic trick is not as interesting anymore when you see how they did it.
It's a man behind the wizard.
I saw through that, and I I thought, it was just one little thing. I thought the rest of the game, made up for it. So, yeah. So, the next big thing is this deal that's come out.
The next big thing in our podcast.
Yeah, in our podcast.
Big things
There are many good things happening always.
But the next thing we're going to talk about is the Blizzard deal, where if you sign up for an agreement, basically a commitment to pay for 12 months subscription, to pay for 12 months worth of subscription, then you will be able to receive a free copy of the Diablo 3 game. It's a full version, not a beta, not a partial, limited, or anything like that. This is the full retail, full real game. Mount in World of Warcraft that will be available, that will be mailed to every existing character and to be made character in the game World of Warcraft. It'll be coming out with the launch of patch 4.3, and then access to the next World of Warcraft expansion beta test, which is for the brand new expansion that they announced, Mist of Persia. Pandaria.
No, we're thinking of something else. Not Prince of Persia, Mist of Pandaria. And we'll talk more about that later. But, I mean, what do you think of this deal, Rob? You're a big WoW fan. You tell me.
I think that it's basically, they're afraid of basically all the games that's going to be coming out for MMOs especially. Then also there's tons of games for console which could take away, but there's always been that. I think basically they're afraid that so many people are going to leave for Star Wars, which there is a large amount of people that's going to be going to it, but I don't know how many people from World of Warcraft that's going to be leaving. It seems like a pretty large amount because they also bring in, on Star Wars, we talked about, they bring in a lot of the World of Warcraft aspects to it. So it's kind of an easy transition if people are tired of Blizzard, which a lot of people have vocalized that they are. It feels also like they're trying to promote that Diablo 3 is going to have much larger sales than actually will, because there's people that I've heard that are going to do this deal because they'll be playing for about a year anyways, and especially if they get the free mount, then they're going to sign up for it immediately.
Like me. I've never played Diablo, but I want to buy this because it's like, well, it's really a good deal. It's like, you kind of have to buy it at this point, you know?
I actually concur with you. I had the same exact opinion. I think Blizzard is a little concerned about the Star Wars game, the Old Republic coming out.
And then there's tons of other MMOs that's coming out.
And the thing about an MMO is, to be completely honest, there are very few people that will play more than one MMO at a time.
Yeah, especially if you pay for it.
Especially if you have to pay a subscription, and it's a very time-consuming game genre. So, I think Blizzard's trying to secure their customers, and the Old Republic is a huge contender. I mean, there's a lot of hype for the Old Republic, and much of it well deserved, in my humble opinion. But I think Cataclysm was an attempt by Blizzard to bring back older players, but also to reintroduce new customers, because with a slightly less of a steep learning curve, which I thought was a great thing. I think with this deal, they're trying to keep their audience. Yeah,
and I think that there's other games out there that's pulling some customers away, such as Rift Online, which went free to play, I believe. And there's just so many that's tugging at the strings of World of Warcraft that it's starting to become unraveled and threaten it. And
because up to this point, World of Warcraft has never really had a serious contender. There have been attempts, but
there's been some pretty heavily attempts, but nothing that aimed at the American public as much as Star Wars.
I mean, World of Warcraft, just kind of cemented itself as the king of the MMO, and I think Blizzard's afraid WoW is about to be unthroned.
I think World of Warcraft, it was originally the king of MMO, and this is just the United States. We're not talking about in
Japan,
in South Korea, and China, and Japan, different things like that, because different games in different areas will appeal to different people. But as far as the United States, the original MMO was EverQuest, and then World of Warcraft came along, and then they took a lot of the EverQuest people, and it's been almost that amount of time, 6-7 years, about for that World of Warcraft has been around. EverQuest was out for maybe just a little bit longer than that before World of Warcraft took everybody. So maybe it's a sign that World of Warcraft has come up to its live date.
Yeah.
The old king is dead. Long live the old republic.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well
like
said.
WoW, so hopefully I don't want to see WoW crash and burn, and I don't think that'll ever happen.
It's
But
not gonna happen.
I will tell you this though: if it went free to play, they would keep me. I would be like, okay, I will stay. I'll be done. Even if they dropped it down the monthly subscription to about $10 a month, I would stay.
Mm-hmm.
But playing the same exact amount for a brand new, fantastic looking MMO that's coming out that I know a lot of people are going to go to, I'll spend that $50, $60. I'll spend $150 on the special edition of a game that looks so promising that a lot of people are going to go on to, and I'll give it a try.
yeah,
If worst comes to worst, I'll be back on WoW.
Yeah,
But
and-
I don't know if I want to sign up for a year agreement for a game that I don't know, that I don't see myself playing for while I'm playing Star Wars, which I'm going to play Star Wars for at least a month to really give it a shot.
Mhm.
I always try to play
Yeah.
it for 2 months, unless it's a game that completely pushes me away, like Age of Conan.
yeah. But do you think it's a good deal? The 1 year
I think
in
if
exchange for
if you're locked into WoW and WoW is your life and you did not see going to any other game, then yeah, it's good. But I think that if you have have plans of going to another game and trying for a few months, and money is a little tight on you, I don't see it really being that good of a deal, because really, Diablo 3 doesn't, like, the gameplay looks awesome, the graphics look awesome, but they've already destroyed it because they're going to do the real life auction house. They destroyed that game before anyone has ever really been able to try it, because they destroyed the whole economy and basically said that you cannot make money unless you could sell some epic thing on the auction house for way cheaper than what, and to be able to persuade people into not opening their mom's credit card.
Mm.
Because let's face it, it's the older people, they're probably going to try it, they're going to look at it and be like, I don't want to spend my own money. All the kids will have access to their parents' bank accounts and be able to buy the best stuff, and the older people are just going to be like, I'm tired of it, I don't want to deal with it, the kids could play this game, I'll go back to another game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's gonna be like that one rich jerk who's gonna have everything from day one. And he has friends, and they're all gonna have that, and it'll be like one guild of just twinks that have like all epic armor at like level 1, and you'd be like, come on now.
Yeah.
Really? Really?
I don't think that you should be able, I think this goes for all games, but I don't think you should be able to buy the best item. I think you have to be able to go out and have it be a buy on pickup, if you're familiar with World of Warcraft stuff. Basically, it's something that you have to go out, you have to kill a big boss with a bunch of teammates with, and then once you pick it up, you cannot trade it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what they're doing is making it like real life. Those with the money win.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's more realistic now.
Maybe there'll be an Occupy Diablo 3 movement.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind microtransactions within the game if you want to get some aesthetic change to your character and something, and you pay $1 to get that. I think you're absolutely right. If you're going to get something that seriously changes gameplay mechanics, then it shouldn't be purchased with a microtransaction.
But this is also possibly Blizzard's way of trying to find a way of eliminating farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it really that big of a problem?
I've actually had my account banned and wiped because someone hacked to use my account to farm for gold. And
On
they
World
also
of Warcraft?
on World of Warcraft, and
They're usually pretty good about returning
it took
to-
a while for them to realize that it wasn't me.
Yeah.
But I got back on, all my stuff was gone. I lost a bunch of items that they couldn't retrieve. And because someone wanted to use my account to farm for gold.
Yeah, it's happened to me a few times, and both times they banned it. They banned it because they basically didn't want to give anyone access to it. Once I called, they're like, "Okay, I'll unlock it." I'll email you back all the stuff that you've lost from the last major save point that Blizzard does of backing up all the characters. And I got it all back, and I was pretty much set. I think there was a few things I had to tell them, like, oh, well, I had this, I had that. Then they go back into the logs and they find where I got it from and stuff like that. So, because they gotta verify, you can't just say, "Oh, I had all this epic battlegrounds gear jammed and basically buffed up." You can't say that because they'll look in the logs.
You know, I never had that problem ever. But in your honest opinion, do you think that the benefit of reducing farming is worth the cost of having the real life auction?
I don't think it is. I really don't think it is, but I think it's their way of trying to figure out how to do it. Mm-hmm. And I think that I give them applause to that. Because if you're able to eliminate the farmers, then it allows real people to basically go in and work their way through the system and stuff like that. But there'll still be people that will be able to make great money, make lots of money in the game, and then could sell it themselves rather than just having farmers. There just has to be a way of doing it that's better than just saying the one with the deepest pockets wins the game.
Yeah, maybe you can just limit how many things you can put on the auction house a day. Yeah.
But then
even
then you're punishing those people that spend the hours that's legit players of trying to farm up stuff so that they could buy the one epic thing that the one good thing that they need.
No matter what kind of solution you pick, someone's gonna be pissed off.
Yeah, basically, there's always gonna be someone that's gonna be on the receiving end of the stick.
My opinion is it's probably not worth it. I would rather deal with the farming problem than that.
Same here.
That's something that'll potentially unbalance the entire game.
And in EverQuest, Sony they were starting to sell gold, platinum. Excuse me. From what I've heard from other people, they started selling platinum off of their website, legit platinum that GMs would give you to eliminate the farming problem. But it just drove everything skyrocketing as far as prices, because you could be like, well, I need I need all this. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and go buy platinum from Sony, and I will go and buy everything I need. And so then there was such a lack of market, it drove everything that was on the market higher. So
Sony.
I gotta admit though, like looking back on EverQuest, I loved how they did the shops. I gotta admit, I gotta give them applause for that. There wasn't an auction house. You basically set up your character to be a vendor.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
so
that kind of solves it.
I've never played EverQuest, so
I loved it. If you ever played a game called Lineage 2, it was kind of along the same system somewhat. Nope. But it was basically where you have to set up your character to be the shop.
That's interesting.
So it requires you to go out and hunt for the best price, or if you don't care, you can just buy the first one you see.
Okay.
Like real life.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Nice.
But Jen, what do you think of this deal?
The deal?
Yeah.
I hate the fact that you're locked into for a year.
You're not locked in. You
have to be.
It's like a cell phone contract.
Well, yeah, it is practically.
Well, you could opt out like without consequence, but you won't gain anything. Like if you received a mount after the 4.3, and you stop doing the year paying for. If you stop paying for a little bit, they'll take all the mounts back from you. You can't re-sign up, or you can't continue from where you used to be.
Oh, I thought you had to be locked in for a year.
No.
And then, okay.
No.
Well, I think it's a great deal. I'm calculating in my head. It's $15 a month, right?
It's $15 a month right now. If you pay for a year, it comes down to be about $12 or $13 a month, but you pay it all at once.
Oh, you pay it all at once?
If you sign up for a yearly subscription.
Oh, okay.
That's like $100.
So it's about $144.
Yeah.
Or so.
So it's cheaper overall, but you pay it all at once. But you could do the month to month. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
Not cheaper enough.
No, it's really not.
Yeah.
If it was like $60 overall,
if it was $60,
if it was $60, I would.
It would be $5 a month.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
That would be amazing.
The only thing stopping me from getting back into WoW full blast is because I can't control myself with WoW. I've just recognized it and said it's better if I just admire it from afar.
So, Kirby Kid. What are you thinking? Are you gonna get
I was hyped to get it, and then you guys started using logic and reason against me.
Stand you, logic.
Right, so I think since I don't even play Diablo, and I'm probably not gonna play WoW after I can become a Sith Lord, I don't think it's worth it because I just want to kill people with Force Lightning and have a red lightsaber.
You do realize to be a Sith Lord, you need to reach max level in the game, right?
Okay.
He's willing to do it.
Distance.
Yeah.
I cleared my calendar from December on, so
Okay, just want to make sure, because yeah. So, one last person.
I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I love the mount. That's the only thing I care about. But other than that,
Yeah.
I wouldn't really recommend it. That's like $144
for a mount.
Seriously.
The mount does look really cool.
It does.
Okay, yeah.
It would
It's
look
true.
cooler if it was an epic mount.
It would look a lot cooler if it didn't require you paying $15 a month too. But yeah, it's one of those things. I think it's going to get some people, but not a great deal of people. Not like they really need, but they probably knew that.
But you know what will get them though? Playing as a panda.
And now for a word from our sponsors. Wait a minute, we don't have any sponsors. If you would like to change that, please leave an email at cneadvertisement@gmail.com. That's cneadvertisement@gmail.com. We now return you to your normal podcasting.
Yes. Mist of Pandaria just announced. And yes, they're finally doing it. You can play as the Kung Fu Panda, pretty much.
Because
yeah.
if you play as a monk,
Let's
hand-to-hand combat, you are a Kung Fu Panda.
Let's get this fixed. They came out with the Pandaren April Fool's quote unquote thing before Kung Fu Panda came out in theaters.
Okay, fine. So this is a chicken and egg argument here.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't really. They might. One side probably heard about it from the other or rumors, but who was it first? It's guesses at this point.
But it's funnier to say it the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the Pandarans have always been a joke, though, right? From my understanding,
they're pets.
Yeah,
you can buy them as a pet.
Right. Yeah, but
Pretty
it's
much.
always kind of been a sort of a bit of a joke that Blizzard's been doing for April Fools for a couple of years now, and now you can play as them, which actually kind of sounds awesome.
It'd be cool to have a Pandarian and then have a Pandarian pet. It's like, I have a slave.
well, with all of the pets, and some of them are very humanoid, it does look like that. It's slaves somewhat.
Yeah.
So Kung Fu slaves.
let's go ahead and talk about. Let's break it down from the expansion. First up is the continents, the areas. They are coming out with 5 new zones. 5 new zones. So, and each zone is very large. 4 of the 5 zones, the ones that are on the outside, outskirts that surround the middle one, they're considerably larger than Twilight Highlands, which is already a very big zone. So there's going to be a lot of places to go in there. And they announced that they will not, that there will be no flying mounts in these zones until you're max level.
What?
Until you're 90.
Oh, this is
What?
So it is
Oh my
requiring
God.
you to run around, and I'm sure you're going to find a lot of PvP and people
So
to fight
for
with and
the level
to
80s,
group up with.
for level 80s and level 85s, they're cool with it because it's like, well, it's not that far. But if you're new, it's like, wait, so I gotta jump 90 levels before I can fly.
It is so easy to level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Compared to what
Well,
it was back then.
yeah, but for a vet, yeah, he's like, oh, because you already know how to do it, and now it's easier.
No,
but for a
even
noob, you're like, oh god, what do I do?
No, not
but-
really. Even for a noob,
Yeah.
you can still level up pretty fast.
Cataclysm, and you know what? I know probably a lot
It's
of
so
older
user-friendly.
players are a little annoyed that it's so easy to level up. It's like, I gave the blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point, and you get to go, right past all that. But I actually think it's a good thing that they made leveling up easier because
Yeah.
it was getting to a point that was almost unbearable. I mean, it's
Yeah. It was pretty
it gets so slow, and it's like, come on, I just want to be able to play Burning Crusade already. Come on,
Yeah, it was a little much. But it's nice, like especially if you're a veteran, then it gives you. There's ways for you to level up alts faster with the bind on account gear. which they're talking about. People have been talking about that they're going to make it available so you can send it to characters on other realms, even.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it is
wow.
it really is a bind on account, not bind on realm.
Yeah, well,
Here.
one thing though, I know that a lot of people will be disappointed that they can't fly through the realms.
Yeah,
And I know that
I'm happy
a
with
lot
that.
of people were annoyed by the long walking distances and
Well-
WoW, but I personally liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it because it gave you a sense of exploration and adventure.
yeah,
I kind of liked going on the the beaten road and trying to figure out what was out there beyond the Elwood Forest,
And getting killed every now and then.
Not
Every now and then.
Not only that, but like you could literally level yourself up by farming herbs and mines, and if you're able to fly through the zone as you level, you don't even have to kill anything really. You could just be like, I'm going to spend an extra couple hours, but I'm going to make tons of money because I'm just farming up all these mats and level off of, which I'm fine with you gaining experience, but it's horrible that you could level that way.
Yeah.
Like, that's just...
And also, I
bad.
think with Cataclysm, a lot of the areas are a lot more interesting. The quests are a lot more interesting. It's less of, well, it still somewhat is. Still, run here, kill 10 of this, come back. But they've introduced story elements to it that are a little more richer than, some kobolds overran this mine.
Right. And also probably the giant fire flame cataclysm in the middle of the world.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Helped a little bit.
And the context of all of it is...
basically, they're saying that, sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah.
they're saying that basically this continent has been hidden in the mist for many, many, many years, for 15,000 years, and that it has been revealed because Cataclysm hit the planet and basically cleared away all the mist, so now people are able to see it. Just to kind of go back a little bit on the
There's some panda somewhere that's like, dang
Mist
it,
of Pandaria.
dragons.
And somewhere there's some dude that's been framed as a nut job all his life. He's like, I knew it, there were pandas out there. I knew it. They thought I was crazy.
And he probably died in the cataclysm.
Yeah.
thankfully.
I'm interested. Color me intrigued.
I really want to be a Kung Fu Panda. I mean, that's what I'm going to name my guy.
Kung
Fu Panda.
Yeah,
I bet
you're not
$5 you're going to have a ton of people trying to get that same.
I'll be doing it at midnight.
That means you will have to reactivate your World of Warcraft account.
Yeah, for like a month,
Yes!
As I haven't seen Jin on for a little while either.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a little bit specifically the Pandarans. Have you guys know that you could start off as you do start off as neutral as Pandaran, correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
and you can pick your side, yeah.
And you pick your side at level 10, but it's interesting that you're able to talk essentially with someone's going to be the other side, the other faction. I wonder how much trash talk there's going to be, especially in the first week.
Yeah.
What if you and a friend are like leveling together? You hit 10, you pick Horde, he picks Alliance. It's like,
You're on the other side now.
So it's like that now.
And you never hear from them again.
Right? It's like, you're red, I'm blue. Let's go.
That's pretty much it. That's really pretty much it.
It's red versus blue now, basically. Because
I think I'm the only Alliance guy in this room.
You are.
You are. Yes.
Look,
So,
all World of
okay.
Warcraft it's a giant Crips versus Blood game. That's all it is.
really, I would say it's a big red versus blue Halo game.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I was.
Because you kill them when they come back.
That's true, yeah. I guess Crips don't
And they
resurrect themselves.
can come back as ghosts. and stuff like that. Now, the racial traits have been announced as well. They have 5 different racial traits. The first one is Epicurean, which is basically increase the stat benefit from food by 100%. It makes sense to me because they love to eat.
Yeah.
And
panda.
it's going to affect them more, which is great. If you're in a big-time raiding guild and you have to eat the feast all the time, I can see this benefiting you somewhat. It's not a great benefit. It's not huge, but it's a little bit, and it'd be kind of nice, and it kind of encourages you to have food with you at all times, and because you receive that extra bit. Second one, it's Gourmand, which is basically cooking skill increased by 15.
Lots of food-based abilities.
Yes, okay.
Is everything food-based?
No, that's only 2. That's only those 2 are the only ones. But have you guys ever leveled up cooking? Because I know I have.
Nope.
I
don't do
like
cooking,
really
like fishing. If it doesn't help me kill you or make money, I don't care.
Well, food buffs could help you kill because it makes you a little bit stronger.
I run a group. They buff me.
got mine to like 25, and that's it.
I got my main raid character's max cooking, and I got a few other characters that's still newbie-ish areas. They're over 100, but I mean, not anywhere near to make a feast or anything for raids. But that 15 points would have helped a lot. Because it was such a pain to level. There were some points where I'm like, okay, there's nothing for me to be able to buy an auction house at this because I did wait quite a while to do it. I would have to go out and hunt for a few hours to just get the items to be able to level up the 5 extra points I needed, which was killing me.
I gotta go back and do that.
Next
No.
is Inner Peace, which encourages this to be such an alt-loving character. Inner Peace is your rested experience bonus lasts twice as long.
Yes, I saw that.
Oh my god.
I thought it was a typo at first. I'm like, wait, for real?
That's
so
awesome.
if you're the type of person like I am at times that will make an alt and will play it once a week or once every other week, this is the racial ability that you want because you will never run out of rested experience basically.
That's crazy.
Nice.
You're gonna level up so quickly.
Yeah.
It's probably to get the Pandarians or whatever to get them in the game quicker. You know, because they are kind of behind compared to everyone else.
Yeah. Next is Bounty, which is the best name for anything ever. It's called Bounty. You take 50% less falling damage.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Now, I have a feeling it sounds epic, but really, how often do you take falling damage?
Not very.
Well, now you'll do
that
it
you
on
actually
purpose,
have to worry about. Like, it never.
So now I can just jump off stuff for that.
Yeah, you can just be like, I'm gonna jump off and I'll get down there faster. And you have a
It's
better
only
chance
Thunder
of
Bluff. I'll
surviving.
survive.
Hey, yeah, you can just. Why take the elevator?
Right?
Now you could do it. Now you could jump off Thunder Bluff.
I have so many funny stories about Thunder Bluff's elevator system. Just so many funny stories.
That
where
is
I wanted to ditch somebody, and they were chasing me. So I ran towards the elevator, stopped, ran the other way. He kept running and went off the side, and then I got lost in Thunder Bluff.
So it's one of those things. I think it's gonna be funny to use. It's gonna be kind of cool, but it really isn't gonna come in handy all that much. And then, of course, they have to give a fifth. They have to give a combat type of ability for you to use, since everyone has one. It's called Quaking Palm. You touch a secret pressure point on an enemy target, putting it to sleep for 3 seconds.
That's going to be really useful.
It's a CC for 3 seconds. But 3 seconds isn't that long.
It's not.
Well, if you're a hunter, do that, then freeze trap, then run away. So they're just there like, well, okay, I'm done then.
It seems like it's a good way for a tank to pull to me. It's a way for a tank to be like, okay, I sleep this one, the other one will come at me as everything else is already CC'd. Yeah. So it seems like the 3 seconds will give you time to be able to build up aggro on that one, and as the second one comes at you, you could get aggro on it real fast, and already have a little bit since you put it to sleep. So we'll have to wait and see.
Speaking of tank, I was reading on the Blizzard website. They're saying that for most instances, they're altering it so that you won't need a tank or a healer. That you'll be able to just go with 5 people.
There's different
for certain, not for like.
There's different.
You can't walk in a nap with no healers.
Going to be obsolete?
No. For some, so to make the gameplay quicker.
It's special type of instances.
Yeah,
it's not the traditional instances where you're going to be able to get.
Oh, good. I was about to say, great. I'm out of a job.
It's basically these instances that's taking place of group quests, which group quest was huge during vanilla. Mm-hmm. There's group quests that would basically give you the best experience, but instead of spending an hour in trade channel looking for a group or looking for group channel,
because I was such a lonely guy. I was like, group quest, darn, I'm never going to get this done.
Now you could look for a group with your friends and party, or you could try to find some more and queue up for it, or whatever the case may be. So it's an interesting way of doing it. and basically it's group quest, and it opens up at level 10 if I remember right.
All right.
10?
Yep, and you could do it with any mixture. You don't need a tank, you don't need a healer, and basically what it does is a lot of times there'll be 3 phases. It'll be like the example that they use in at BlizzCon is basically there'll be 3 phases. First phase is kill X amount of creatures.
Okay.
And then escort these people, and then the third one would be kill this boss. So a very simple, basic type of group quest type of setup.
Okay.
And they also announced what classes the Pandarians would be able to be. The different classes that the Pandarians could be, of course, it's monk, because it's the new expansion coming out. Then they could also be mages, priests, hunters, rogues, warriors, shamans.
No DK?
No DK.
I guess once they die, they're just safe, right?
No DK.
They're the first class that can't use DK, right?
Well, because they're the class that comes afterwards. But Lich King can't bring them back to life.
Oh, yes.
So it makes complete sense.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
How's Lich King? Lich King is already dead. He's already gone.
That makes sense.
He's gonna bring himself back to life. And like, I'll bring back some Pandarians. I'm dead again.
He can have like a secret Pandarian army full of ninja monks.
But since they didn't show any Pandarians during the expansion, I don't expect.
So
them
they're
to.
safe, but it's kind of a letdown. I'd like to see a little panda with like epic dark armor on.
Right.
We all would.
Right?
That'd be nice.
Summoning the
Well,
dead.
You'll be able to dye your armor as well.
That's true.
Whoa, hold on.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they said that you'll be able to dye your armor and to encourage people, because some people are like, the first few tiers were the best looking for this class, and I want my armor to look like that, but those stats are just horrible, or I can't get it anymore.
It's always that fight.
Whatever.
It's like, this looks ridiculous, but this is the best thing I could possibly wear.
So now you can dye it, but it costs a good amount of gold, and you will be able to dye it, but it costs a good amount of gold. But you could have it look like the other.
It's
armor.
worth it because style points matter.
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta look good.
You gotta
Yeah,
you
you gotta
can't
look
walk
good.
into a guild like, hey guys, like you're wearing a purple top with like green and yellow and gray. Come on now.
This
This
is one of my biggest problems. You can't be a druid.
Really?
Whoa,
That doesn't
yeah.
seem to really.
You can't be a druid.
You would think that
Yeah.
they'd be druidish. They seem.
But
Well, they
like
like
the
it.
guy at
They like to
BlizzCon,
eat plant life, not worship it.
the guy at BlizzCon basically said, you are a bear that turns into a bear. It doesn't quite work out. And I'm like, that works out perfectly to me. Like all you do is you sit on all 4 paws. Then
Turn into a better
that's
bear.
it. Yeah, you just like kind of sit down your paws if you're a bear, or if you turn into a cat, then you turn into a cat that looks kind of like a panda.
Panda Cat!
Yes. So I was very disappointed. I was looking forward to making a second druid as a panda.
Well, besides
Because
that,
I cannot get rid of my Tauren druid, which is the only true druid there is.
so is everyone else gonna play a panda?
Yes.
I will
play it.
try.
I think I'm gonna. If I am playing, then especially if after Star Wars comes out, then like Star Wars, I go back to World of Warcraft. I'll probably pay for my character, my troll hunter, to change to a panda. Which
Are you guys thinking Panda Guild?
no.
It don't work out.
No.
So it's interesting. Gonna have to see what happens. There's also a couple other classes that's missing, like 1 or 2 other classes I can't.
Paladin and Warlocks.
Paladin and Warlocks. That's it. Yeah. Warlocks I get.
Shoot.
I get Warlocks.
Yeah, they're evil enough to be warlocks.
And Paladins I kind of get because basically this is basically kind of a mimic of a Chinese type of culture, which doesn't have anything to do with Paladins.
Right.
So it kind of makes sense to me as well. Just druids is the one thing, and that guy's excuse didn't win me over. So I was a little upset about that. Also, they will be using something called chi. As far as it kind of looks like energy, as far as for rogues, but they'll use chi, and they have to build up points to basically use finishing moves or special types of moves, and you have to keep on doing jabs to do that. Also, this is something I find fascinating. It could either make or break the monk class. This is just with the monks that I'm talking about now. Sorry, I'm done with talking about Pandarians. But as far as monks, they have to use the chi, and they don't auto attack.
Yeah.
They
You control
do
every movement
not-
individually, like
Yes.
combos. You comboing.
like
That's different.
like
Yeah, that's nice.
Street Fighter. You
Yeah.
press
Yeah.
a button, you hit. You press another button, you hit.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna hook up my fight stick to World of Warcraft.
You can't do that.
Wouldn't that be
It
something,
almost
though?
seems like you should be able to, because
Right.
the guy even says in BlizzCon that he wanted that, so this way it seems more like Street Fighter. He labeled Street Fighter specifically.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Now,
Yeah.
is the monk class limited only to Pandarians?
No.
or
Of course not.
No, it's open to everyone but the two new races that came out in Cataclysm.
So you can't be a monk worgen and you can't be a monk goblin. Why can't you be a monk goblin? I want to see a kung fu goblin.
If you want to see a monk
Weird.
midget, you can be a gnome.
No, that'd be
Okay,
cool.
Since your lines anyway.
it'll have to suffice.
I would love a World of Warcraft fight stick. with like macro buttons for like your spells and stuff, but also
But don't they have
be
World of
interesting.
Warcraft keyboards?
Yeah.
they have
they do.
So just put a joystick on it.
So it's gonna be very interesting. Monks, yeah, as I said, no auto attack, and with the build up of the from using the jabs and stuff like that. And there's one other attack I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it's very much the opposite of Death Knights, where Death Knights you auto regen the runes. This you have to build them up. So and then you could use them, which it's going to be very interesting to see.
So it's sort of like energy mixed with rage, mixed with runes.
Renergy.
Or is it
Renner.
kind of like
No, well, there's no rage.
Well, yeah, I mean, but like you have to build up the meter instead of the meter
You
being
build
there and then going down.
your chi automatically goes up like energy, and then you build up the meter like you're building up combo points for a rogue.
Oh, so,
But
okay.
there's a light side and a dark side, and the lights there's specific skills that will take from light and specific ones that will take from dark.
Well, this sounds interesting, if not a little complicated.
Yes, so it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. But if I make a monk, I'm gonna go Tauren because I want to see them roll
Oh, that'd be
because they
awesome.
could roll, and there will be the giant hairball that's rolling down the road, and it'll be interesting to see them because when they punch, it's probably gonna hurt a lot.
Look, Daddy, a rolling hamburger.
So another thing that they're changing, there's a whole lot. Another thing that they're changing in this is they're changing the talent tree.
Again.
Well, this the best way of calling this, it's not like anything else. Like we're gonna make it so you have to fill one in the other side or anything. No, this is completely different. If you didn't know any better, you would swear this is in World of Warcraft, because basically they make it so that you receive one talent every 15 levels. So,
Man.
That's rough.
well, they make you receive one every 15 levels, but all your crucial needed talents are gone. There's spells and passives that you automatically already have.
Oh,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
already
So-
it's already met and it's
Yeah,
already built
you already
in.
have everything that you very much need, but basically the talents give you fun abilities to play with. Like it's not necessarily needed. It's just fun for you to have. And basically, it'll give you a selection every 15 levels where you could pick 1 out of 3 talents, and then once you pick one, you can't pick from the other 2. That's it.
Ever.
Well, unless you respec.
There we go.
So
I was about
and
to say
which
that's a bit harsh.
so and they're talking about that you could be able to respec while you're out in the grounds or something, like how you could use glyphs now. You don't need to reuse a brand new nether glyph like how it was when it originally started. It's already saved. You could go ahead and respec while you're out there. So it's very going to be interesting and fun to see how that plays. Everyone's already complained basically that they haven't been able to respec without going to town, taking the 10 minutes to fill out the spec sheet, make sure everything's aligned correctly, and then be able to go back to the raid after 15 minutes of doing all this. So they made it a whole lot easier for it, and I would love to see it going into system and seeing how it plays. It's going to be very interesting. Also, you're going to receive the class benefits as you do now, but you're going to receive more of them and more frequently. You'll have the one starting off at level 10 when you start a talent tree, and then you might receive another one at level 20 or 30 or something like that, and then another one you basically receive about 4 or 5 for each talent tree that you pick as your main one. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Very fun, very cool. I'm definitely looking forward to the expansion. I think even if I'm playing even if I am playing Star Wars, I'll probably buy this expansion just to try it, because it seems like there's enough change in it and enough stuff I will want to be able to. And
I think that's partially part of the point. They want to keep their customer base, and they're about to hit a lot of competition, which is a good thing. I think it's a great thing that WoW is getting some contenders, because that forces Blizzard to improve the game in order to keep their customers, and that seems to be what they're doing.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting. There is so much more that we could talk about. There's the new zones. We could talk about how they look and everything. There's the new different mobs and creatures that we could talk all about, because some of them are very cool looking.
We'll get more to that when
funny,
to
interesting
the
designs.
Yeah. We'll have to revisit this, because there's a lot to...
I have a feeling we might make a special episode of just this expansion.
Yeah. When does the game come out? Do they have a date yet?
Or? I don't think they have a date.
GameStop listed this expansion as of December 31st, 2012.
They always do that when they don't know, though.
Yeah, so basically it's their way of saying, we know it's going to come out, but we don't know when.
It comes out
and we don't know how much for.
So I have a feeling it's going to be about a year and a half, 2 years. A year and a half sounds about right if they're coming out with 4.3. 2 years possibly, because they'll basically do what they did before. They'll do a 5.01.1, which is basically kind of getting you ready for the new expansion. Not introducing new bosses or anything, but kind of introducing Pandarians a little bit into the different zones, so you kind of get used to seeing them.
But they better
and
hurry
get to see
up,
what they look like.
Because I don't get used to being Sith Lord. I'm going to get drunk on power real quick. So
you're already there, sir. So we'll have to do more of a specific podcast later on. We'll kind of go over some of these a little bit more in detail. We'll talk a little bit more about the different mobs that they'll be introducing, such as the bunny with a knife and fork as a weapon.
Malicious bunny.
It's the most ferocious rodent you've ever seen.
Which is called Firming. So they have some really cool things that they're going to be introducing as far as visually and everything, such as the starting zone for the Pandarians will be on the back of a giant turtle. It will literally be a turtle.
Oh, that's
cool.
That's interesting. So I guess we don't really have an official exit question of the week, but I guess we can make a really quick exit question. Do you think Mist of Pandaria is worth going back to World of Warcraft for?
Well, let's have it this. Are you looking forward with everything that's coming out to Mist of Pandaria? Are you expecting yourself to go back?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, the Old Republic, and there's other great MMOs coming out. It's like, is Mist of Pandaria enough to convince people to stay?
It's coming out in a year and a half to 2 years. We have no idea if it's going to be out then.
Yeah.
There might be some pretty epic stuff. I mean,
Titan
will be out by then, right?
We could already kind of know what's going to come out then, but we don't know how it's going to be. I mean, please, God forbid, Star Wars could be horrible. It can be.
You never know. You never know with MMOs.
Maybe BioWare would be like, you know what? MMOs aren't our thing. Here you go, Sony.
Oh God, no!
Wow.
It'll be hacked by day 2. My info will be out there again.
So we'll have to wait and see.
All right. So I guess that's all for this podcast. This was Codenamed Epic's weekly podcast, Codenamed Podcast. And we're still trying to figure out a decent name for this after 4 weeks. But, yeah, that's us. I'm the R-Man.
Dismal Elephant.
Kairaz.
Kirby Kid.
And Jen.
And we're signing off.